everybody, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a cute little charm like this. So what we're going to be doing is weaving open and closed rings together. This is a chainmail variation, because most people, whenever they hear the term chainmail, they think armor, but chainmail is actually so versatile, especially for jewelry applications. And so you'll want, let me bring this camera down so that y'all can see a little bit what's going on. Okay. This way if I wander off camera you can still maybe-ish see what I'm doing. And we have 6 closed rings of 16 gauge 1/4 inch, 4 closed rings of 16 gauge 5/16, and 12 open rings of 18 gauge 3/16. These will be listed down in the video description, as well as a link to our website where I sell them. Now, we don't sell anodized aluminum on our website, but if you'd like some, I highly recommend theringlord.com. And then just whatever ear hooks that you like. And with these I have little 301 surgical steel fishhook style ear wires with some little silicone earring backs. That way they don't slide out of your ears whenever you're wearing them. Select your pliers of choice. I really enjoy my Terraflex handled bent nose pliers and my little delicate tipped chain nose. And so what we're going to be doing is taking one of our open and threading on one of our large, because for convenience sake I'm going to be calling them small, medium, and large rings. And so thread one of our large onto our small, thread one of our medium on, and then another large, so that the medium is sandwiched in between the large like that. And then I'm going to close it. Well, close the small, sorry, to be specific. I'm going to see if I can't bring that in just a little bit for you guys. And so now from here, I'm holding the 2 outermost rings, and I've grabbed the medium with my pliers, and I'm just going to pull it forward so that it sits kind of like that. And it makes this little Venn diagram kind of where the small ring has threaded through. And I'm going to come in and hook through again on the same side. So it doesn't look like much right now, because I mean they all kind of settle back to where they were. But on the next ring, it's really going to start looking like something. And whenever you do your closures, you want as good and even of a closure as you can to try to make this ring look like it's one continuous loop. So you can see I'm grabbing it again, just like that, and kind of pulling it out to the side. And now holding it like this, I'm going to put in another ring. And I kind of just set it there and then grip it with my fingers. Then I'm going to pick up another small ring and thread through the 3 of them. And again, it's not going to look like a whole lot. Close it. And I recommend focusing on each of your closures as you do them, as opposed to going back and touching up your closures after the fact. And so now you can see it's sitting like that. I'm going to flip it around. This is very similar to the Celtic Vision weave. Kind of. There's so many different names for all the different weaves. So now, again, you'll kind of, even if I just drop it on the table and pick it up. Okay, let's look at it. These 2 bunched up, so we're going to separate them. Pull this ring out. It's usually a good idea to not throw it on the table, but accidents do happen and gravity typically gets the better of us. So you can see how they're kind of laying like that. So what we're going to do is take our small red ring and thread it through 1, 2, 3, so that it's threaded through all 3 of those, right through there. And I'm going to close it. So there we have just a unit of Celtic Visions. It's looking pretty cool. Let's push those off to the side, and I'm going to take another ring and insert it right there. Boop, just like that. And I'm going to hold it with my fingers, grab one of our small rings, and kind of, it can get a little tight, but you can do it. Just right through those 3. And close it. And whenever you're doing this, you want to make sure that the ring is ending up on the outside of the large ring. You don't want it threaded through to the middle. That would be something else. And so now we're going to be adding in our last ring right through there again. So you can kind of see I'm just whoop, coming through. And so what I meant by that is, like, you don't want it coming through the middle. And I mean, and with this aspect ratio, which is the ring size, it doesn't really let you thread through anyways. But again, with chainmail, anything can happen. Don't ever be like, oh, well, that's impossible, because sometimes it'll be like, how on earth did that happen? Okay, so I dropped it, but it remained intact. So I'm going to go ahead and close it just like that. So there's one. And so you could attach more rings to it and use this as a component in a necklace. You could make, I'm sure if you used a larger ring here, you could do maybe a 5-pointed star or a 4-pointed cross, or just whatever you like out of this pattern. I really like this because it has a very nice, like, triquetra feel to it. And to turn it into earrings, I'm just going to pick one of the medium-sized rings and open it just like that. And I'm going to take this ear hook and I'm going to thread it on just like that. And now I'm going to close that ring as perfectly as I can. And so there we go. It's now an earring. And so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and do the second earring, because something might happen that makes it a little different than how it was before. There we go. So we'll pick up a small ring, thread on a large, a medium, and another large, and close it. Making sure that's a nice good closure. Then we're going to come around through to the other side, hook through all 3. It's pretty simple. And close it. And then I'm going to grab this medium ring that's sandwiched in the middle and grab these 2 on the sides and just pull them apart from each other like that. See how that kind of happens? It just isolates it. And so now I'm going to pick up a medium and insert it again. And then a small ring hooked through all 3. And close it. And then one more small through this, just like that. There we go. Now this one's kind of wonky. Sometimes if they stop lining up like that, what I can do is I can come in with my bent nose pliers and like smoosh, and just smush it down, and it gets it to be in place. It's not ideal, but it works. Okay, and so now we have this going on here, which you could take this weave and attach more rings, just repeating the same pattern of sandwiching, and make a whole bracelet just like that. But that's not what we're doing today. So we're going to take another medium ring and place it in there. Now also I would like to specify, we've been doing this design for years, but so have quite a few other chainmail artists, and I think I saw this on mailartisans.org as like picture format. I can't remember what the name that it was posted under was, because that was like 7 or 8 years ago. But if anybody knows who originally made this design, I would love to find out. That way I can give them proper credit. But I just know I've been making the crap out of them for ages. And then threading through that last one. And then closing it. And then I'm going to just spiral this around. There we go. Find that closure. You know you're doing good with your closures if you'll have a little bit of trouble finding them whenever you need to reopen the ring. Which, that's chainmail goals right there. There we go. Just threading on that ear hook, closing that ring back just as good as we can. And threading on that silicone ear back. And there we go. Perfectly cute little earrings. I'm going to set these right here for y'all's viewing pleasure. Now, whenever we're making these for sale in the booth, what we do is we'll make a bunch of them in as many different color combinations as what we have the rings available for. And we'll usually, like right now I actually have Randy on production. Can I show you on camera, Randy? No? Okay. He's like, no, I'm in my underwear. It's one of the perks of working from home, is it's like, what do you mean, pants?
I'm wearing pants.
Well, yeah, you're wearing pants. He's just wearing, like, one of his wife beaters or something. But, what was I saying? Yeah, he's on production right now, making 2 pairs in each and every color. So, like, we'll have 2 in the red and silver scheme. And then he's doing some where the silver is different colors, too. So it's like, that gives us a way that we can really beef up our inventory. You know, since we have those ring sizes out anyways, and it's kind of, that's one of the ways that we try to master the art of mass producing handmade things, is by being like, okay, let's make like a bunch of these. And because somebody might come through and like me, I think this is pretty, but I don't wear a lot of red. I mean, I say as I'm in red tie-dye, but there's other colors going on here too. Like, but it's like, whereas some folks like red, black, and silver, like that's their go-to color scheme, which looks really good on them. But I have a little too much red in my complexion, I think, for that. I prefer browns and greens. And that's why we make so much of the same design in a bunch of different colors, is to try to appeal to, like, if somebody comes through and they're like, I want purple and blue. We're like, okay, we have that. And if we don't, we always carry our materials with us to be able to make it in the booth. So just a little bit of business perspective for if you're prepping for a craft show or a convention, or just want to build up your inventory for on your website. That way, whenever something sells, you can just ship it and it's done. If you guys have any questions, comments, or ideas, I'd love to hear from you. That's another thing too. I've had a lot of people send me messages being like, hey, I've made something from your tutorial. Is it okay if I sell it? And I'm like, yes, go for it. You provided the tools and materials. You put in the time. You know, you made it. Go for it. Do whatever you want. I do ask that if somebody asks you, hey, how'd you do this? That you be as helpful to them as you can. And, you know, I wouldn't mind you sending them back to my YouTube, but just telling them in general, oh, there's tutorials out, so, you know, just pay it forward a little bit. That kind of free spreading of the artisan education. Because that's my goal with all of this, is to make it easier for noobs to be less newbie. Or just learn as quickly and effectively and efficiently as possible. So yeah, thank you for everybody who has asked that, because it's a really it's nice to ask. Um, but also you don't have to ask. Like I've been getting anywhere from like 50 to sometimes I think the most messages we got in one day was like 94 messages in one day. And I'm not good at like talking a lot, like in typing. So um but if you guys enjoy our free tutorials and you would like to support the creation of more of them, please consider becoming a patron. If you pledge just $1 a month, it puts your name in the hat twice, because we do 2 giveaways for our patron exclusive Fairy House giveaway. And then if you pledge $5, it puts your name in the hat 5 times for each of the giveaways. And if you pledge $10 or more per month, you still get your name in the hat for the giveaways, once for each giveaway, but then you also get monthly mailed to you either a gift or a package of kits and materials, like tools and stuff, that are either geared around something that you specifically requested, or just whatever tutorials and stuff we have coming out that month. So for May, we might be having a lot of little kits and stuff for how to make your very own little triquetra chainmail earrings, which would be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for all of your support. I do hope that this was helpful to you. And happy crafting. I'll see you all around. Bye. Mwah.